Neither does Republicans get it. Do you not understand that? Both sides don't get it. Both sides have an agenda that has nothing to do with the middle class or the poor people here in America. We're going to talk about a video. I don't know if he's a subscriber. I don't know. But I know he's been here since day one, since I created the channel. And he's been amongst a plethora of people who defend guys like this. Now, if you know me, if you've seen my comment section, if you've seen that I do not back down from conversations, if you are willing to have somewhat even a decent conversation with me, I am going to have that conversation with you. I don't care how stupid you might sound. I don't care if you're coming from a dishonest place. We're going to have that conversation unless you get to the point to where you're being just disingenuous on purpose and you're being hateful. I only blocked one person so far. Okay. This young man, we've been going back and forth on so many subjects, and it's like, bro, I don't know how many how many different ways I could break down something so simple in a more simple way. Okay. But he was like, hey, watch this and tell me your thoughts and opinions on it. So we're going to go ahead and watch it, and I'm going to break it down.
Anyway, what's your point today?
All right, my point is it's a pre-midterm point. So in a last-ditch midterm move, Joe Biden doubled down on Democrats' dubious campaign strategy, a little alliteration there unintentionally, Wednesday night, waxing poetic about the fate of American democracy, invoking January 6th and condemning, quote, extreme MAGA Republicans. Now, on its face, the strategy seems silly given that Democrats continue fixating on January 6th and, quote, semi-fascism when voters are moving away from them on the generic ballot and seem clearly more interested in hearing about candidates' plans to...
Okay, I'm going to stop there right there. Yes, Joe Biden and a lot of these liberals like to instigate situations saying, this is the end of democracy. This is the end of our country. They're going to kill us all. It's the end of Social Security. It's the end. It's the end. It's always the apocalypse. It's always revelations to these people. It's the end. It's the end. They're going to take us. They're going to kill us. All this good stuff. And when I was younger, that's what I would hear from the left and right. But from Democrats, it's always, this is the end of our democracy. It's like some speech on like Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to fight. We have to come together against the aliens invading our nation. Like, that's exactly the energy that Democrats, or not Democrats, the liberal, the dishonest, disingenuous liberals like to do. But guess what? Liberals always like to point out MAGA, even though MAGA to me, when it comes to the Republican Party, that's like 30% of the entire Republican Party. Because I know a lot of Republicans and they don't talk like that. They don't act like that. They don't mimic at least much of what these far right, you know, that's pretty much what the MAGA is, the far right wing. They don't talk like that. But on the flip side, that's what Republicans do. What do? BLM, Antifa, even though that's like not even 10% of the Democratic Party. I don't even know who Antifa is. Okay, I haven't seen not one person who claims to be Antifa or knows Antifa. No one cares about Antifa. When it comes to Black Lives Matter, that is a movement. That is a way of thinking. That's not a group of people. And when we're talking about the organization, they're not doing anything except for robbing people of their money. They're not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're not like storming the Capitol and like, no. Black Lives Matter is a movement. And yes, there is riots. And just like January 6th riot, these are actions performed by civilians because their government is not listening to them. That's what riots are for. That's why riots happen. Riots don't happen because everybody's happy and they're making plenty of money and they're just so being productive. Like, no, they're angry. They're upset about X, Y, and Z. So they're going to do A, B, and C to get your attention. That's all it is. So on left and right, it all happens to everybody. So can we just be honest and have a genuine conversation that this happens on both sides? Republicans always want to say the Democrats are going to take away your laws, even though, oh, no. Democrats are going to take away your rights. They're going to take away your freedoms, even though nobody can't explain to me what freedoms they're going to take away. I don't know. It seems like Republicans taking a lot more away from people than Democrats. Democrats are going to take your children and turn them into women and confuse and blah, blah. And then it's like, bruh, come on. Both sides does it. So whatever she is saying about that is garbage.
To deal with inflation and gas prices and urban decay. But as we've said here repeatedly, while the legacy media often simplifies these issues into super clean narratives, it's really not that simple. Midterm elections are about turning out your base. Democrats think the democracy message raises the stakes for their voters. They think it's the thing that gets people who prefer Democrats to the polls rather than sitting Tuesday out. Now,
yeah, that's true. It's garbage. It's garbage to me. I don't know how many times I got to repeat that. It is garbage to me that Democrats want to utilize their voice and their platform to say it's the end of democracy. Okay, why? What solutions do you have? How are you going to fix it? What's a clear plan? Give me a plan B. Give me a plan C. If plan A doesn't work, that's all they're saying is that the Republican Party is going to destroy our country if they take over the Senate and the House and the presidency. I've heard it time and time again. And yes, it gets tiring. And I am literally at my last straw with these guys. So I understand it. It is stupid, but Republicans do the same thing. They play the same game. Democrats are going to destroy democracy. They're going to take away your rights. They're going to take away your freedoms. They're going to take away your kids. They're going to replace you and let open borders and have wars everywhere. We hear it all the time.
There are two big problems with that strategy I want to highlight because I think they bode very poorly for the future of the country. First, all of Biden's primetime babbling about democracy is inflammatory because he's asking the American people for trust his party does not deserve without even explaining why they deserve it, in his opinion. Let me read an excerpt from Biden's speech on Wednesday.
Go for it.
I hope you'll ask a simple question of each candidate you might vote for, Biden said. Will that person accept the legitimate will of the American people and the people voting in his district or her district? Will that person accept the...
A deadly Pendergrass. I don't know if I'm reading that. It's like the text is so tiny on my tablet, but I appreciate you watching and I'm glad that you're enjoying the content.
Outcome of the election, win or lose? The answer to that question, says Biden, is vital. This is extremely inflammatory because when it comes to Biden himself just a few years ago, the answer to every single one of those vital questions was no.
The Russians hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russian hacking of our election.
Hacking of our election.
Russia hacked our elections.
Russia hacked our elections.
Stolen election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
The universal assessment that Russia hacked our election in 2016.
Foreign governments hacked our elections.
Most young Americans consider Donald Trump an illegitimate president.
He's an illegitimate president.
Why is he illegitimate? He just won an election.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind. That's it.
I absolutely agree.
Experts urge Clinton camp to challenge election results.
Didn't that just seem like a little shady editing right there? The lady was like, he's an illegitimate president, and it like chopped up to him turned already saying, I agree. Like, okay, come on. Let's not be that pathetic. Okay. I understand what point you're trying to get, but come on, let's slow down with these weird cut videos.
See how illegitimate his victory actually was.
He's an illegitimate president.
Russia hacked our election.
Russians hacking our election.
Hacked our election.
Russia hacking our election.
I don't see the president-elect as a legitimate president.
Trump is an illegitimate president who stole the election.
He is not a president.
He's illegitimate. And my biggest fear is that he's going to do it again with the help of Vlad, his best pal. It's terrifying.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate?
It wasn't just Biden. It was Hillary Clinton, Karine Jean-Pierre, members of Congress, Stacey Abrams, talk show hosts, and millions of Democratic voters who signed petitions for the Electoral College to swing the vote to Clinton. And a lot of that was based on a full-blown conspiracy theory about Russian hacking and collusion. Remember when much of the legacy media insisted John Fetterman was relative?
And guess what? They did that to Obama, saying he wasn't originally from this country. They did it to Joe Biden, saying that it was tampering with the voting machines, and billions of mail-in ballots were from dead people or non-citizens. Like, it's a game that they all play, and it's tiring. It's 330 something million people in America. A small fraction lives in this bubble thinking that all this is really happening. Majority of us, 98% of us is like, both sides are stupid. Both sides are idiots, and we don't have time to worry about Russia hacking or this and helping that or mailing ballot. We don't care. We don't care. Both parties suck ass anyway. We don't care. That's majority what us really think. When she says millions of people, a million people compared to 331 million people in America. Okay, yeah. Screw the million people who think whatever they want to think. Both parties suck.
Relatively sharp and healthy until he actually went into the public without a filter, and that spin just crashed and burned in real time. The lesson was about more than just one Senate race. The lesson was huge. Our media has the power to construct false realities.
Really?
This obviously aligns with Chomsky's famous manufacturing consent theory, but remember that what they're actually manufacturing is all of reality now. They can make crime seem better or worse. They can make wars seem just or unjust. They can make food seem healthy or unhealthy. Election denial is owned only by extreme MAGA Republicans.
And guess what? Black people have been saying that for years, way before the internet. We've been saying that for years, that the media will portray people in any way that they want. What did Malcolm X say? And I'm probably gonna butcher this. Malcolm X says something like, "Be careful, the media will have the oppressor looking like the oppressed." Or something similar like that. Hopefully when I'm editing this video, I will have a quote somewhere. But we've been saying this for years. This is nothing new to us. She is saying nothing new. And media is both sides. Media is not just a Democrat thing. Media is not just a Republican thing. We got Fox News, which is garbage. We got CNN, which is garbage. There, I said it. Like, okay? Tell me something new.
Well, Democrats' hands are just totally clean. Now, because of new media, they're starting to lose some control of the narrative. Holes are getting popped in the bubble. You don't have to be a Fox News viewer to see videos of Democrats, in their own words, demanding funny business from the Electoral College and engaging in the same nonsense Trump did, even on the same level from Hillary Clinton and former President Carter themselves. Now, did it lead to a riot at the Capitol? Thankfully, no, but the media also memory hold the riot.
Hold on. Are we really just going to simply brush over that? Okay, it's a difference between saying, Trump is an illegitimate president and he did this and Russia did that, and nothing happened. It just stayed at conspiracies. It was probably a little investigation, a little this, a little name calling. Okay, we get it. But what did Republicans do? Oh, Joe Biden is an illegitimate president. Oh, no, he didn't win. But guess what? The rhetoric was so potently evil from a majority of the Republicans, which some of them are holding chairs right now, which is crazy to me. They actually incited the insurrection of what happened on January 6th. So there's no like, this didn't happen, but this did. Okay, now let's move on. No, that plays a major role, because guess what? What's going to happen next time? Yeah, it was a few hundred people that tried to storm in and look for, but what if next time this happens, and they actually do find somebody. They actually do find an AOC or what's his Trump's running mate? I forget his name. The white dude with the white hair. I forget his name. What if they actually do find these people next time? What do you think is gonna happen? You think they're gonna just like scream in her face and just say some mean things to him? So let's not put this like, nah. I mean, both sides are stupid, but one was a little bit more stupid and careless at one point. So let's not just brush over this like it was nothing.
Riots and the rioters that smashed windows, threw bricks at cops, and set fires in the streets during Trump's inauguration in 2017. I know at least one journalist who went to the hospital, but nobody really cared after the dust settled. That Joe Biden, Democrats, and journalists are asking the public to trust them to stand up to, quote, election deniers without taking any accountability or even offering an explanation for this ostensible hypocrisy is an abuse of power, a grave political error, and a blow to institutional legitimacy. Now, of course, while we should expect purportedly neutral journalists to hold everyone accountable equally, we don't really expect politicians to hold themselves to that same standard. But
why don't we? Why don't we? Like, once again, she just brushes it off like it's just something that we just got to take. No, we don't have to take that. But I'll let her finish.
Joe Biden is clearly not the person to make this message, nor is his press secretary, his high-profile candidate in Georgia, his many other high-profile surrogates like Hillary Clinton or others. But hey, they do it anyway. Now, the second problem with the democracy strategy was illustrated really well this week by a CBS News poll. Quote, "We asked simply, what concerns you more? Whether the U.S. will have a strong economy or have a functioning democracy," reported CBS on their own poll, adding, "The nation is closely split. That doesn't mean people don't want both, but those more concerned about democracy are backing Democrats, and Republicans draw most of those more concerned about a strong economy, echoing the message of the party's campaigns." Okay, so that false binary is very, very telling. Let me again read CBS's own words. "We asked simply what concerns you more," they said, "whether the U.S. will have a strong economy or a functioning democracy." That they separate these two priorities is, of course, in acceptance of Biden's false premise, but it's also an illustration of what the political establishment does not get. While they're preoccupied with abstract conversations about the soul of America, much of the public sees the failure of American democracy as an economy that doesn't work for the middle class, as cities that are getting more dangerous and tragic. So while CBS says, hey, actually, yeah, people can want both in theory, the democracy champions in the administration and the media never, ever talk about those two things in the same breath, ever. A functioning democracy and a healthy constitutional republic should mean an economy that supports upward mobility and a healthy middle class. It means cities that are safe, not dominated by one-party rule for decades that leaves no room for debate or difference or improvement that bucks the partisan orthodoxy. It means a public square not threatened by a public-private partnership to censor dissent. It means an intelligence community narrowly focused on direct security concerns, not encroaching on people's freedom to speak and organize because they disagree with the political establishment. It means a media that doesn't say what it does, is balls and strikes, just calling balls and strikes neutrality, and then treats everyone without fear or favor. It means a market that rewards corporations who contribute to the common good and punishes those who abuse their power over workers in politics. But, of course, that's not what Democrats and journalists and media executives mean by, quote, functioning democracy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my... She was so close. I felt that maybe she could actually put an actual pin and actually make a little sense, like she was going on her rant. Now, it's like some of it was like, maybe, but I kind of understand what you're saying. And she fumbled. She dropped the ball. She fumbled at the 1 yard line. She was like, and Democrats and the media and this don't get it. Neither does Republicans get it. Do you not understand that? both sides don't get it. Both sides have an agenda that has nothing to do with the middle class or the poor people here in America. That doesn't make you, that's actually how you journal. That's how you can mediate in between two parties and say, hey, this side is crazy and this side is effed up. But of course, you know, when you're playing on a team and you're just playing a team just to win, just to dunk on the other side, just to make your party look less crazy or less effed up, you sound like an idiot like this. Call both sides. Call both sides for their bull. And then maybe we might be able to come to an understanding that the media needs to take more responsibility and call out both sides equally without no bias. And if you do so, you're fired. None of that. But I mean, it's crazy. And the young man who sent this to me, I'm not sure what this is supposed to prove, but this proves to me that people will continue to push for one side and ignore the crazy things their own side does, just to demonize and point out what the other side is doing. This is a perfect example of that. So let's go ahead and continue.